Hi, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Benita Reed with Be Reed Coaching, and I'm a Christian certified life coach, and I specialize in social and emotional wellness coaching. And this is actually part one of four of a series on anxiety. And this is also introducing my chat episodes, which are just 5-minute coaching tips to help you guys with some special areas that you may be having challenges with in the life coaching area. So this series is Boundaries That Set You Free, a Christian guide to reducing anxiety. Okay. So this part one, this is going to be how to spot the difference between healthy and unhealthy boundaries. So when we talk about anxiety and anxiousness, of course, boundaries are number one and definitely need to be addressed. But before we get started, please note these are life coaching tips. Okay. These are not a substitute for professional therapy or medical treatment. All right. If you are struggling with significant anxiety or any mental health concern or challenge, please seek help from a qualified licensed therapeutic provider. Okay. Now, my credentials are over there in the bottom for your reference. And let's get started. So, what is anxiety exactly? All right. Anxiety is that uneasy, restless feeling we get when we're worried or we're stressed out about something. Okay. It's our body and our mind reacting to situations where we feel overwhelmed or we feel uncertain about something or we feel out of control. Keyword being is when we feel something. Okay. So our feelings sometimes can give us a false sense of reality. Okay. So be mindful of that when we feel these things. However, it doesn't have to rule our lives. Those anxious thoughts, those anxious feelings does not have to rule our lives. Okay. So we're going to talk about in the next 5 minutes or so, by setting healthy boundaries, we can reduce anxiety and find the peace that God intends for us to have. Okay. So these are the different parts of the series that we're going to be going over within this series. So today we're going to talk about just, healthy and unhealthy boundaries biblically and how they can help us reduce anxiety. Okay. So the links to parts 2, 3, and 4 can be found in this description. So be sure to check it out so you can get all the content for this series. All right. So healthy versus unhealthy boundaries, finding God's peace. Okay. So scripture reference for this part today, for part one. We're going to look at Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23, which reminds us, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Okay. Everything we do flows from our heart. Everything we do, everything we speak, it all comes from our heart because we have to guard it, right? So point number one, remember healthy boundaries guard our heart and our minds, all right? So when we talk about healthy boundaries, picture it as it being a fence, just a fence in your yard, okay? So you keep your fence to protect what? To protect your belongings, right? So that's what healthy boundaries are in your space, okay? For your mind and for your heart, right? It helps you guard, it helps you protect it. Unhealthy boundaries, however, will allow anxiety to take root. So just like a fence, if you leave that open, you're allowing excess to come in, unhealthy stuff, all these things, the outside world, you're influencing things that can affect how you feel. Okay. Now, that's unhealthy boundaries. Literally, seriously, think about it as a fence. What you let in, what you let out, what you keep in, and what you keep out. Okay. So, point number 3 is healthy boundaries are grounded in self respect and understanding that we are God's creation, deserving of peace and balance. You guard your fence, you guard your heart, you guard your mind. Okay, because that's what those anxious thoughts start. They start here. Okay. So be mindful of that, all right? Okay. So what's your part in all of this? Ask yourself, are your current boundaries protecting your heart, or are your current boundaries allowing for anxiety to rule your life? Okay. Reflect in one area of your life where you have felt overwhelmed. It could be personal or professional. Okay. Now, write down one healthy boundary that you can implement that honors both your peace and God's design for your well-being. Okay. All right. So we have gone over a scripture reference, foundational reference, okay, for you to understand how important boundaries are. Okay. We've also gone over something that you can do for yourself. What can you do? You can reflect on where you're being overwhelmed, where you're feeling overwhelmed, and what healthy boundary that you can start setting. Okay. So what can you look forward to by doing these things? By setting intentional boundaries, you can start recognizing what drains your energy, which can help you reduce anxiety over time. Okay. So quick tip, 5 minutes or less. So that's what these chats are for. Okay. Now, if you need more anxiety coaching, first of all, finish this series. There's some really great tips in the other 3 parts, so be sure to check them out. If you need additional resources, check out my website, bereadcoaching.com. And thirdly, I do have an anxiety book bundle available on Amazon, also my website as well. So check it out there. And thank you guys so much for joining me. So please like, share, and comment if this has been a blessing for you. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the other sessions and also for these other topics that we have going on in these chats. All right, take care.